In 2 weeks we will be comparing Pure Aero 98 2026 to the previous version, but now let's discuss Alcaraz specs and how it affected my game and this frame. I will use myself as an example and my friend Kasper, who switched over from the Radical MP to Pure Aero 98 and is currently playing with the heavier version of Alcaraz specs. We've seen Alcaraz playing around with some lead tape. I have two confirmed specs that Alcaraz was using. One a lighter version, 3 or 5 grams, and the second one slightly heavier when he was experimenting with lead, adding to the throat of the racket, neck of the racket, making the frame slightly heavier overall. Currently we don't see the lead tape on his racket, I mean Alcaraz rackets, but it doesn't mean the racket is back to its lighter specs. Maybe he got a specific separate line from Babolat and he's getting them matched almost ready out of the production line. The reason why probably Alcaraz has tried heavier rackets is probably he wanted to make things a bit more fluid. We can see the shift especially on his serve motion, where it is less rapid, more fluid, trying to feel the loop of the swing, trying to use the momentum in a more efficient way, causing less arm fatigue. However, everything has some pros and cons, and this was a case for me as well. I must say I actually played better with the racket in stock form. When I customized my Pure Aero 98 to Alcaraz heavier specs, I felt like my wrist and access to spin is a bit limited, a bit more blocked, so in a way it was easier to hit more through the ball. I felt like the racket is a bit more stable on contact and through the contact path, but yeah, it was just much harder to use the wrist and well, import spin and get the ball back inside the court. I don't really care that much now about the specs, but feel-wise I am always looking for this perfect timing where I can kinda rely a lot on my loop and let the racket do the job, and I'm kinda looking for the specs that can allow me to finish on last second, kind of last second adjustments, last second acceleration. So also that's why I prefer rackets that tend to have a slightly longer pocketing sensation, dwell time. So as I am guiding with the ball, I have more time to make some adjustments or import spin. Pure Aero 98 is a racket for rapid motions, maybe for players that are more explosive. Definitely the racket has a shorter dwell time, so in a way you can say the ball is in and out, and that's where the magic happens, this very short time where you have to do all the job. Totally different type of response compared to, let's say, Prestige, Speed, or even Radical line. So your intention should be really rapid, and yeah, Kasper is doing a really good job with it. From the footage I can see that I have room for improvement. I should look for more acceleration. Maybe I got used to these heavier frames, more control-oriented, where I can guide the whole hand into the zone where I am aiming, and yeah, with Pure Aero 98 definitely you want to be more rapid, more snappy with your acceleration and guidance. It's funny because I mentioned my wrist is a bit more blocked with the heavier specs, but still these heavier specs of Pure Aero 98 are lighter than my rackets of choice. I tend to use rackets that are around 315 to 320 grams unstrung. That's why for me it was this aha moment where you can't really adjust the racket to your specs. The specs should be fine-tuned to the racket's potential, and the racket with specs should overall suit your idea how you want to play. You just can't make Pure Aero feel like a prestige racket. It just wouldn't make any sense. I tried to adjust to the heavier specs of Pure Aero 98 to kind of find the angle or acceleration needed for this racket, for this type of response, to get a more natural spin potential without forcing my wrist. Because I was just not able to finish the ball with my wrist. I tried to kind of tilt my racket a bit more towards the net. It was helping a little bit. Kacper, for example, has shifted his grip a bit towards extreme grip, which tends to produce a more natural spin. I play with a bit more traditional grip, so that's where I have to be aware of the angle on contact point and how I produce spin. So totally different visions, how you guide the ball, how you finish with the wrist, and the sensation of guiding the ball, basically. Funny thing is that, in my opinion, Kacper has changed the way he holds the racket a bit subconsciously. It was just more natural to play freely with this type of grip, a bit more Western, to feel the control, to get the spin in a more natural way, and therefore control the responsiveness of Pure Aero 98. I will give you a hint. I think the upcoming Pure Aero 98 is gonna be a bit more traditional in its response. So yeah, guys like me should like the racket. So that's it for this short discussion of specs and how it can affect your game and your play style and the racket, because it changed the racket's performance and feel quite a lot. Don't customize to your specs. You have to get to know the racket's potential, what it is trying to give you, and then customize and be careful not to change the racket's DNA. It's impossible, I guess. Let me know what you guys think. See ya.